statement of fact, okay? Alright, mono green Scapeshift / Field of Dead, or whatever you want to call it. This deck has a variety of win conditions past just Scapeshift and Field of the Dead. We've got Karn the Great Creator, which can fetch some miscellaneous tools out of the sideboard. We've got Nissa, who shakes the world. We've got some Ugins. We've got some Golos here. And we also have Wayward Swordtooth and Explorer creatures that can give people the beatdown. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump on in. It's our second time playing a configuration pretty close to this. Let's see how this compares to the other Scapeshift decks that are running around. I guess one question that I kind of want to ask myself, and this is a question that goes out to all y'all at home too, are there any green or colorless cards we can play for anti-opposing Scapeshift decks? Like, this deck we built it before the Bant deck was a thing and other people were really playing Field of the Dead. What are some green or colorless hate cards for other Scapeshift decks? Are there any in this format? A lot of the ones we've been talking about are like red and stuff like that, right? Well, Crucible with Field doesn't really answer your opponent making a bunch of zombies. Although I suppose you could argue we could just make our own bunch of zombies. I tried, V-Ball, I tried. Vampires are very aggressive. If we hit an untapped land next turn, we get to stick Nissa, which is great. The last deck was really awesome, Flab, the Yarok deck. It wasn't actually a very good Scapeshift deck, but in general, the power level of the deck felt very reasonable. Yikes. Double Amulet of Safekeeping. I think we're dead here, right? Just kind of got stumbled and got run over. Got some Healer of the Glade here as some anti-aggro cards. Probably just trim Swordtooth, honestly. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's generally pretty common that most of the competitive tier decks at rotation lose a ton. They want the format to be fresh. Rotation is the thing that makes Standard fresher than it usually ever is. Amulet Symmetrical, that's a good call. I suppose our deck can win without Scapeshift and zombie tokens, but making our zombies bad as well isn't necessarily ideal. It depends on the configuration of Esper, Rich. There's a lot of variation when you just say, well, Esper. No, Grafdigger's Cage does not impact Scapeshift in the slightest. Alright. Cast 4 mana, gain 7. Azcanta a big deal. Azcanta does definitely leave its presence in the fall. Yep.
I will be better prepared next time.
Well, we're Cloudkin, Seer. Oh, that's brutal. I guess we're just doing this. It means we're 2 turns off of playing these Golos still, though. Are we dead? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? Yep. Yep. And this is one of those where this might be we're gonna play this and then delete it off the website sessions. This was one of the first decks we had played earlier in the season. And it felt kind of okay, but like as the format becomes more brutal and more efficient, the aggro decks figure their stuff out. This deck's a little bit mopey for sure. Probably a little bit less powerful than some of the other Scapeshift decks. I guess on the draw, this is probably too slow. That is the perfect draw. Do-da, do-da. Bum 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 ba-da-dum. Speaking of Nexus, while Scapeshift won the Grand Prix this past weekend, it played against Nexus in the finals. So we'll Golos and grab a land next turn. After this trigger happens, we'll be one color off of activating. Yeah, sure, Frantic, whenever. Also keep in mind, if you have an idea now but don't want it to be played for a little bit, the quickness through which a deck is played is usually dictated by how many dollar dues you send with it. So if you submit a deck with an idea with money that doesn't put it at the top of the queue, it can just hang out in there and collect free extra points. So they give everything in the deck queue moves up by 1 point for every day that it waits to be played. So that way, something that gets submitted early doesn't sit there forever while people donate more to put their decks ahead of it. I'm okay with that too. I won't say no to your money. I just wanted to make sure you understood all your options. I think Loam Shaman would be good anti-Scapeshift for Scape. How does Loaming Shaman impact Scapeshift in the slightest? Alright, well, they're gonna need to start fogging us every turn starting next turn. That being said, they do have Wilderness and Azcantia, so we might not get a next turn. Should we put a Chromatic Lantern in the sideboard for the Golos activation? You know, that's probably not a terrible idea. Do 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 beep 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 do 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 do. Karn can get another piece of disruption next turn too. We have Sorcerer Spyglass in the board. I mean, we have 5 colors of mana in our mana base, Android. Oh, Drawn from Dreams. Just 7 casual looks at a Nexus of Fate? Weird. But I mean, I'm sure they'll miss, right? 7 looks into 47 cards. Oh, fish through time. So, like, the problem is that, and this is the part that sucks about playing against Nexus, as always. I'm glad we're playing against less of it recently. Is that we're, like, nowhere near deterministically dead, right? Like, until they have a sustained source of card advantage in play, we're gonna be okay here. Yeah, once we get the God-Pharaoh statue up here. Yeah, I think we get Spyglass as well. The question is, do I get I probably name Blast Zone, right? Do I name Blast Zone or do I name Azcanta to the Sunken Rune?
You will not this world.
The Nissa's irrelevant. I think I'm naming Blast Zone. Oh, that's neat. It shows me their hand at the same time. This interface is really slick. That's new, right? I feel like it hasn't always done this. I think I name... It doesn't really matter what I name, right? Because they have Blink of an Eye. In fact, I'm going to name Azcanta with it because they have Blink of an Eye. Although I guess if I name Tamio, they can't pick Root Snare back up. You know, life's too short. Life's too short. Let's play a different match. This is just gonna take too long. I don't care. These colors don't really have good tools for this matchup. And we talked about this format being like Modern, where like you just want to concede the matches when you're kind of miserable. If you ever playing Magic and you find yourself not having fun, you need to take a step back and reevaluate like why you're playing the game, right? Playing Magic is always optional. If you're not having fun, stop playing or start playing in a different way. A deck like this that just doesn't have good tools for fighting Nexus of Fate just really isn't fun, so let's do something else. It's a little bit too slow on the draw. Also not particularly fast, but meh. My good friends keep asking me to play Commander and then do stuff in Commander that makes me regret playing with them. Yeah, I feel like if I were going to try and enjoy Commander, it would definitely have to be like a format that is like all pre-con decks or something. Like a set of decks that people know are balanced against each other. Oh, Wayward Swordtooth. For a while, I felt compelled to log in every day because of the daily rewards, but like the rewards, essentially more gold to spend in the game. You're playing the game, So you get to play more of the game once that clicked. It's a lot easier to only play when I felt like it. Yep. Oh. This one's going a little rough. Mike Pickle, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Yeah, maybe Blast Zone's okay. Like, the problem is, like, if I'm activating Blast Zone, I'm moving further away from activating this to, like, not being able to cast this, to not being able to Scapeshift meaningfully. Untapped land, please. Well, I mean, that's a tapped land, I guess. Yeah, Wayward Swordtooth felt really awkward. Hey, well, I appreciate the support, Mike. Twitch Prime pays my mortgage these days, so thanks for keeping me around. All right, counter me, daddy. Nah, I think I'm gonna call it. I'll probably try one more match after this one, but I've been up for 9.5 hours. I don't even really have good sideboard cards for a matchup like this. I guess a couple Healer of the Glades are fine. This is all kind of clunky. Guys, remember, even after I sign off, I've got another 45 minutes to an hour's worth of work to do tonight. So, it's a long day. That's fine. Mondays, I don't mind running long on Mondays, because Mondays usually have a pretty good viewer count like we did today. Tomorrow will probably be a shorter day, because my viewer count on Tuesdays is low for whatever reason. Yeah, maybe, yeah, I guess I should have brought in Veil here. I autopiloted that Veil was just for control, but they are... The problem with Veil in a matchup like this is, like, if you look at that last game is a good example. A lot of the time I'm not going to have the be afforded the ability to, like, play my big spell plus another mana is what happens a lot of the time. If we get a game 3, we can try the Veils, but I do think they're awkward a lot of the time. I don't think all the stuff Karn fetches is bad. We've been dispersed, chat. I'm all alone, there's no Karn here beside me. Do 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 do. Alright, I'm off it. This deck was this build was like kinda novel at the start of the season. And then things got efficient. Other Scapeshift / Field of the Dead decks got figured out, and this is definitely not one I could recommend in good conscience. The Sultai Yarok deck with Field of the Rune was really, really good. So if you're looking for a sweet Field of the Dead deck, this is going to be my standard deck of the day for sure. So that's going to be it for me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Fam Squid has 68 timeouts. Remember, if you're looking for more content for myself, you can check out my website and my YouTube channel, which I'll be updating tonight like I do most nights after we stream. If you want to prefer to remain on Twitch, I'm going to find someone else streaming to give a host to. Oh, Allie's on. Duh.